All right. So check it out. Today we have a special treat. Today we have Trey Stuckey of the Law Twins giving us a mixtape. It's called Don't Compare Me. And without further ado, let's get into this joint.
I feel like I was born to be king. Yo, that's my word. Don't let them break you. You ain't close than you think. Yo, that's my word. So keep grinding till you get where you headed. Never regret it. Keep it moving. Always stick to the message. Yo, that's my word.
Be the barrel born and fed my righteous ghetto. Fighting for the breath of life. You blessed but never settle. Some days you up, some days you down. It's not coincidental. Remain robust. Do not erupt. You must correct your mental. Where you collapse or relax or recruit an excuse to recoup.
All right, before I get into the mixtape as a whole, let me just say a couple things. The Law Twins are a group of reactors, you know. They're brothers, they're twins, and they break down rap tracks that people request. Now, I gotta say something. Reaction channels, for me, are kind of like a mixed area because, you know, sometimes they be real, sometimes they don't be. Like, for every real, like, somebody who's actually contributing to, like, the video, every real reactor that I find, there's like 10 of them, they just look at the video, nod their head and turn it off. Now, reaction channels aren't bad, I don't think so. We need reaction channels to get out there, but you know, I think that if you're gonna react to something, you need to contribute something to it. And the Law Twins are some of the best out there. They break up down the video, appreciate the wordplay, appreciate the subliminals. They can catch a lot of meaning behind tracks that most people will miss. You know, when I was watching their breakdown for 6 seconds, The God, I was watching their reaction for like Logic 5 a.m. and they caught some things that I missed when I originally listened to the piece. So, you know, Law Twins will put you on game. Law Twins will get you where you need to be. So that's what I want to say about them. Let's get into this album, all right? So I listened to it a couple times because when on the first pass, it wasn't really sold with me, you know? And it's kind of like the Loaf Muzik situation where I didn't give it more than one chance. I missed a lot. So, you know, on this, I had to give it more than one pass because, you know, this is my man's. You know, I gotta give it an honest effort, gotta give it an honest amount of play. And as I went through it, there were some tracks that I really liked. There's some I could do without, but I definitely have a top 3. So here we are. My top 3 is Way Too Long, My Level, and it's kind of hard for this bottom third placer. It's kind of hard. I like Working Money, and I like, let me see, hold up a second. And I like Right Now. That's what the other track was. But I think I'm gonna have to go with Right Now as my third choice. So all my 3 choices: Right Now, Way Too Long, and My Level. Okay, so Right Now, you know, this is the type of music that, you know, I could vibe to. Like, it's kind of like I put it in the background, you know, and I would just you vibe to it, you know. There's not like the wordplay and the rhymes and all that. It's not like anything crazy, but you know, it's the audio engineer did a good job of mixing his voice with the trap style beat. So I mess with it. I can vibe to it, really. It's like a vibe out track, you know. If you're reading a book or you just cleaning the house or something like that, you can mess with that. No shade at all. I like it though. Now this one, we're gonna jump up to the second place on my list, and that is My Level. Now usually I don't like tracks where, you know, brothers are like saying I got your girl, or putting other brothers down. But, you know, I kind of like this one, you know. I'm gonna kind of contradict myself a little bit on this one. This one, the reason I like it is because the hook is elaborate. Not many guys nowadays are making elaborate hooks, you know. They usually have like, you know, 1 catchy line or 2 catchy line rhymes, and they just repeat it like 12 times and that's the hook. No, my man Trey, he actually took time to write out a hook that bleeded, like transitioned well into his verses. So like, you know, like those tracks where how can I compare this to, like if you take Eminem's, can't believe I'm comparing Trey to Eminem, but if you take Eminem's like what do you call it? No, that's not a good example. I'm trying to think of a good example, but we'll worry about that later. Like Trey, he wrote this hook, and the transition, the hook is kind of like a verse in itself, but it transitions well into his verses. So it's like one smooth story. And you know, a lot of people aren't doing hooks that are more like 4 lines. So this is why this separates this track from most of the rest of the mixtape. So this is definitely my second pick. Y'all gotta listen to it, and you really gotta vibe to it, because you'll enjoy it. I enjoyed it. Let me see. The top pick. Now this is by a long shot, no contest. Like, this is the best track on the album. And ironically enough, I had to wait. I had to listen to the whole thing and got to the end. I'm glad I didn't stop listening at like track 5 and stuff. Like, there were some tracks in the middle where I was like, it's alright, but I'm not really messing with it like that. But when I got to the last part of the album, Way Too Long, that is where I know where my top track was. And you know, the thing about this track is this. Auto-tune nowadays I think is abused. Like, auto-tune is a tool that can be used to make something sound good if you can't sing that well, or you just want to try a new effect with your voice. And I don't have no shade against auto-tune, but too many people nowadays just rely on it. Like, they don't rhyme, they don't try to sing, they don't try to have a musical ear, they just rely on it. And sometimes, I'm gonna be honest with you, it sounds terrible. Like, sometimes it sounds too robotic, it's too high pitched, it's not pleasing to the ear. But I think this is like a Goldilocks moment for Trey, because when he told his engineer and everything, they got it, it's not too hot, it's not too cold, it's like that Goldilocks moment, it's just right. Not too much, not too little. And like, the hook is dope. Once again, elaborate hook, and I appreciate that. A lot of people ain't doing that, so that separates that. And I like how he's describing, you know, his team, his brother, mentioned his brother on there. He mentioned some new team members that they added, what kind of moves he's making. He broke it down specifically. Like, throughout the whole tape, he's been saying, like, you know, I gotta get to the top, we're about to get this cash, you know. And that's cool, that's what every rapper was talking about, but, you know, he gave us the specifics on this track. And I think that's why this is the best track in the album for me. So, Way Too Long. Now, this whole thing as a whole, what do I think as a debut mixtape? I think it's definitely good. It's definitely a well-stamped entry point. And I think that I'm actually kind of glad there was no features on this joint, because, you know, as an artist, especially artists when they put themselves into the game, they usually have a little bit amount of features, if none at all, so that they can represent themselves, because no one can represent yourself like you, and Trey is definitely representing himself here. I don't know what I was expecting, to be honest. This sound, now that I hear the tape, it's kind of strange. This sounds like Trey, now that I look at him, because, you know, when I watch their videos and everything, I got a certain image of how he would sound on a track, because I knew, like, if him and his brother were breaking it down, they would have bars. But, you know, based on how a person looks, I hate to say judging a book by its cover, but, you know, he had the fade and everything like that. Like, you know, I can kind of see what type of spitter he would be. And this confirmed it for me. So, yeah, this is definitely Trey. This is him. No writers, none of that. This is original him. And this definitely sounds like him. It's a good debut in the game. I'm interested to hear if his brother Patrick has something. Like, if he does a future project, if Trey does a future project, I want Patrick on there, because, you know, I want to hear what Patrick's got, you know? Trey can't be the only one with bars. Like, these guys break down bars. They catch things that even I can't catch. They catch dope wordplay, references, you know, double entendres, triple entendres, quadruple entendres. I want to hear what Patrick's got, man. Patrick, if you're hearing this, you got to put something out, too. It's no question, man. Anyway, I enjoyed this mixtape from top to bottom. I would definitely, but those 3 tracks are definitely my top 3, and those are definitely the ones on repeat, especially Way Too Long. This is the Adam Smasher live from the multiverse. I don't got nothing else to say. Trey Stuckey, welcome to the game. We've been waiting your arrival. I'm out.